NASA had already hinted that high-precision images of this object would be released once it drifted close to Mars on October 3rd. But before that moment arrived, something unexpected happened. For the first time in weeks, NASA broke its silence. They quietly confirmed that brand new visuals of 3I Atlas would be unveiled during a live stream. The event page suddenly appeared online, announcing that the broadcast would begin at 12 p.m. Pacific time on November 19th. And judging by the tone of the announcement, the implications of what they were preparing to show could escalate into the most significant story of the year, perhaps even one of the biggest astronomical revelations humanity has ever witnessed. That's why SETI's abrupt post on X stunned everyone. With no build-up or warning, they informed their audience that NASA was preparing to publish fresh spacecraft and telescope imagery of 3I Atlas on November 19th. Not from one observatory, not from a single mission, but from a coordinated network of instruments scattered across the solar system. NASA almost never holds a dedicated global event for a single comet. SETI almost never amplifies one unless the underlying data is extraordinary. The timing alone sent an immediate jolt through scientific circles. Why now? Why this object? And why the urgency? Stay close, because what unfolds next is nothing short of unbelievable. If the enigma of 3I Atlas fascinates you and you want more deep space mysteries like this, hit that like button and let the universe know you're here. Your support keeps the journey into the unknown alive. And tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching this from? I want to see every corner of Earth that's following this mystery along with us. Meanwhile, another wave of images suddenly began circulating online. Detailed, high-contrast frames unlike anything seen before. They showed a sharply defined cloud streaked with vibrant color transitions and intricate features, forming a structure radically different from any comet captured in previous decades. 3I Atlas appeared larger, sharper, more intense than the surrounding stars. And most intriguingly, its form shifted ever so slightly from image to image. Its tail seemed uneven, almost unstable, as though something inside the dust envelope was spiraling or redirecting itself. Even without knowing who took the images, anyone could see that something about this object refused to behave like a normal comet. Interest spiked even further when Avi Loeb published another set of extraordinary images in a detailed Medium article. These new visuals showed jets firing outward in multiple directions, not chaotically, but with an almost orderly precision. Narrow needle-like tails and long, focused streams of gas extended far into space. And these weren't simulations or digital effects. These were real observations, real exposures, real data. And they revealed an object that looked less like a frozen remnant drifting from the void and more like a complex, functioning system made of dust, gas, and something else we don't yet understand. The combination of SETI's enhanced detection, the anticipation around NASA's upcoming announcement, and the increasingly bizarre imagery created a wave of speculation that spread rapidly across scientific and public communities alike. 3I Atlas was defying every model we have. Its shape, its behavior, its structure, its dynamics. Each new image raised the same unsettling question. What exactly is traveling through interstellar space toward us? While NASA and other government institutions remained silent regarding the comet's irregular traits, that vacuum of information was quickly filled by another group, a network of independent astronomers scattered across the United States. Free from bureaucratic timelines and review cycles, they observed the object continuously and published their captures the moment they arrived with no edits, no censorship, and no delays. Their footage became the most immediate and transparent source of information about 3I Atlas as it evolved night after night. And among their observations, one particular sequence stood out. A series of exposures that seemed to show 3I Atlas spinning at an unexpectedly rapid rate, shifting orientation within minutes. The moment those frames reached public astronomy forums, debates immediately erupted. Some researchers suggested that asymmetrical jets could cause such rapid rotation, but many analysts quickly countered that the motion was too smooth, too precise, not the jittery, chaotic movement caused by random expulsions of ice and volatile gases. This fueled a wave of speculation across American social media, where suspicion towards official agencies is already high. If amateur astronomers could record such clear signs of unusual motion, why hadn't NASA commented on it? Surely their instruments were detecting the same thing, and far earlier. Why stay silent? Commentators began suggesting that NASA's silence was less about lack of information and more about instruction, especially given the series of closed-door meetings between Congress and the space agency that were never publicly explained. Some media figures compared the rising tension to the moment Oumuamua was announced in 2017, but this time with far more uncertainty and public anxiety. Even cautious scientists admitted that the rapid rotation sequences raised uncomfortable questions. Was 3I Atlas still a natural object, or was something guiding its movement? With NASA refusing to address the claims, independent astronomers quickly became the world's most trusted eyes on the comet, a situation unmatched in modern American astronomy. The person behind the remarkable images soon explained how he captured them. Surprisingly, his entire setup was simple. A basic telescope paired with an RGB camera, no special filters. He even removed the default IRUV filter to preserve subtle color differences in the dust. Then he stacked dozens of long exposure frames, applied only minimal sharpening to avoid artifacts, and captured the comet as faithfully as possible.
Dozens of long exposure photographs were combined to smooth out background noise, and only the lightest amount of sharpening was applied, just enough to bring out the fine structures without producing artificial patterns. It was the kind of meticulous, precision-driven technique usually found in professional research labs. But the real shock came from the rapid sequence of frames captured only minutes apart. 3I Atlas wasn't behaving like a drifting, frozen traveler. Its silhouette kept shifting, stretching, tightening, twisting, while the surrounding dust plumes curved and flared outward in different directions, hinting at complicated internal dynamics. Brightness pulsed through the cloud in waves too uniform, too rhythmic to be dismissed as random turbulence. From the observer's viewpoint, the conclusion felt unavoidable. 3I Atlas was rotating, likely counterclockwise, and rotating fast. So fast, in fact, that the shape of the object visibly altered itself in just a few minutes. That single detail ignited a storm of speculation and fueled a flood of conspiracy theories in American astronomy circles. Could natural jets alone account for such rapid, clean, coordinated motion? Or were these the signatures of some kind of hidden control mechanism? Several forums even considered the possibility that 3I Atlas might be correcting its own orientation, behavior never documented in any natural comet. While mainstream experts urged caution, these images provided something NASA had not provided: direct, uninterrupted visual evidence that 3I Atlas was acting in a way that seemed organized, almost intentional.